Hey, howdy, friends. It's Steve DePoe here with the Rose Realty team with this week's real estate vlog for North Texas. Hey, today we're going to touch on something we've probably touched on before, and that's 55 communities and what to consider. So a lot of friends that, actually a lot of clients that we work with, are in that first of all, they're in that baby boomer generation, and they're sitting around kind of considering, I want to sell my house. It's too much to take care of right now. Just the two of us. The kids are out. The kids are grown. Then they're not coming back, and so we're considering moving. Is a 55 plus community, right for us? A lot of good questions. And there are a lot of people who don't quite get or understand that 55 plus community mentality and what it's all about. And let me try to explain a little bit. Now, as a full disclosure, Rose and I live in a 55 plus community here called Ropes and Ranch in Denton, Texas. We've been here for, I guess, March will be 10 years now. So just as an FYI, we love it. We love the community. And a lot of the things I'm going to talk about today are what we love about the community. Okay. So let's get going. So first of all, the 55 plus communities offer, upscale amenities, like fitness centers and classes and spas and social events. What they actually call Ropeson, for example, is Ropes and Ranch Resort. Okay. So if you can think of sort of resort type living, but you live there year round, 365, 12 months out of the year. So that's something to consider that it's got these amenities, and it's something that we kind of figured into the formula. We belong to a health spa. I think it was Lifetime Fitness in Flower Mound before we moved here. And that was one of the calculations that was done to say, hey, look, we no longer have to pay this because we've got all of these, um, the fitness center and all of that here. So we're not going to have to pay for, a fitness center there in Flower Mound. Plus, it's so much more convenient to kind of roll out into your golf cart and drive down to the fitness center and work out rather than have to get in your car and drive, even 5 minutes, to get to the fitness center. So, again, fitness centers, spas, pools, those kinds of things. These communities emphasize active and social lifestyles with options for clubs and sports and events appealing to boomers. Now, let's kind of put a pin in that for a second and say, a lot of the studies that we have read, not only for ourselves, but for our parents, but also for the community, is that as we get older, that sort of community involvement and social networking becomes more and more important. You don't want to, even myself, who errs on the side of being an introvert, doesn't want to just sit at home, with the boob tube on, watching TV all the time, because there are social events and there's options for groups. I mean, our particular community has something like 300 or 400 like sanctioned groups, that you can join. The boomers and the singles and the Greatest Generation group and the Wisconsin group and this group and that group, and there's just a lot of groups to join so you can connect and network and have fun. Okay. And as we get older, that's more and more and more important. So again, not just kind of vegging at home and, waiting for the Grim Reaper to come and knock at your door, right? Before we go any further, hey, if you could, since you're watching this video, if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel, that's youtube.com/at moving to Dallas, Texas. There you'll see there's a library of all of our videos and vlogs that we have. You have 100% access to all of those. You'll also be notified first when a new one becomes available, whether it's a whether it's a vlog or a walkthrough of a house or information on a community or Fort Worth or Dallas. Whenever we post a new video up there, you'll be one of the first to know because you subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does benefit you, and that you're now you're the smartest person on the block because you know that all this information is out there. So thank you. We appreciate you for doing that, and we appreciate you. Hey, next, many of these 55 plus communities have waiting lists due to their popularity, and a lot of the houses kind of sell for above asking price. So let's kind of get into three quick buckets if we could. When you talk about these communities, retirement communities, which are basically apartment kind of living, yes, there's very extensive waiting lists. If you think of or look up Watermere in either South Lake or Flower Mound, they have extensive waiting lists. Now they're more of apartment type living, or apartment or condo type living. You buy your place, you buy your condo, and then they charge you a decent monthly fee for basically 3 meals a day. Okay. So that does add up. Here at Robeson, Ladera, Del Webb, Frisco Lakes, so that's a Del Webb. What these places offer are a combination of resales. So there are resale homes and properties available to buy. At the same time, there are, and in some of these communities, the Del Webbs, the Laderas, here at Robeson, there are new construction sites that are available. So if you had the time to wait, let's say you wanted to wait, somewhere between 12 to 18 months, you could select the site, select the house, build the house, and move into a brandy new home. Each of those sites I mentioned have to be checked out. For example, here at Robeson, we have very few sites right now, new home construction sites, until they open up a new section. Okay. And so you have to kind of talk to somebody who knows what's going on there, and they can kind of help you understand what's available, what's not available, resales, all that kind of good stuff. Traditionally, they build these 55 plus or age restricted communities, they call them, in warmer climates. So typically they were Florida, Arizona, New Mexico, that kind of thing. But now they're building them practically all over the country. And if you take a look at the picture here, you'll see that in the bottom right-hand corner is where they're building them, like throughout the United States, and it's pretty well spread out. In the upper left-hand corner, those red dots, they may be hard to see for you, but those red dots are 55 plus communities throughout North Texas here. Okay, and so you can see there's a lot here. There's a lot springing up, and I happen to know from relationships with builders that we have. There's a couple of builders continually open. I think there's going to be two or three additional sites by big respected builders who they're going to open up two or three sites within the next year to 18 months. Okay. So Texas is a real popular area. Um, and it is a warmer climate compared to, Minnesota, Detroit, Washington, etc. Homes are typically designed for simpler, low maintenance kind of living. Features the master suite on the first floor. Now, and so if you're building, or frankly you're buying a resale, you can go as high or as low as you want, right? I mean, you can build a 1600 square foot house, kind of simple and basic, or you can go as high as like 3,500 or 4,000 square feet. All depends on what you're looking for. I was told by one sales rep one time, that if you're trying to replicate what you have on the outside, you're going to go broke, and that's probably true, because the building, the building and the amenities and stuff that Robeson has here, for example, far exceed, some of the builders on the outside, and so they're more expensive to build. It'd be more expensive to build a 3,000 square foot house here than it would be, in Flower Mound and Bridlewood, just as an example. Okay. So you kind of want to build what you think you need in the future and not what you're living in today, which is exactly what we did. We didn't build a new house. We took it on a resale, and we thought, well, how are we going to be living in the future, right? And we did a lot of entertaining space and that kind of stuff, and some nice outdoor space. And if you can do that kind of thing, then you'll be okay. And lastly, HOA fees cover extensive maintenance, okay, and amenities. For example, here at Robeson, we have two fitness centers, two pools, an indoor and an outdoor. We have a grill, a restaurant bar. We have dog parks. We have a lot of sidewalks. We have 27 holes of golf, although that should be separate from HOA fees. We have the garden area where you can rent a plot to put a garden in, and so there's a lot of maintenance fees involved. And real estate point of view, you have to pay those maintenance fees, those yearly HOA dues or fees. They're kind of a liability, if you will, against your home. But that's not a big deal. You know that up front. We'll explain it to you up front, and then you know how much it's going to cost you. So kind of hope that helped. Whether this kind of makes sense for you or for a parent or even grandparents. So this is some good information. Hope you share it with them. Or if you have any questions, my number is always associated here. You always have all my contact information. Give me a call, reach out, and we'll see how we can help. Hey, next week we're going to talk about, because we're getting towards the end of the year and we assume that you're going to make that move in 2025. We're going to talk about staging for a quick sale. So I hope that'll become beneficial to you. Hey, this is Steve. I am with the Rose Realty team. So long.